Spin Cycling Show. Brian Kellison, Lisa Reese, Brian White. No Casey Shum. He's traveling. Not on a boat. We're just going to say anytime anyone's traveling, they're on a boat, right?
They're on a boat.
They're on a boat. I was traveling all week. Oh, this is what I know. I know what to talk about. Yeah, we were just, what are we talking about? I was traveling for work, and I was in Orlando, and I'm trying to stay on top of my training. What are we talking about? Because I had a race yesterday outside. I did Peloton for the first time. So we'll touch on Peloton. We'll touch on Peloton now.
We had this screenshot
of me doing Peloton. Now, this is the thing. I was talking with Bjorn offline about some other stuff, but I brought up the Peloton thing, and my immediate sort of responses is like nobody is in the realm of quality of like Peloton stuff, like their whole like studio. And I didn't even have a really good experience because I slammed my door on my finger. My car, that's why I have the thing on my finger. Going to my race yesterday, we won't touch on that. The hotel, I brought pedals, I brought my shoes, I brought a kit, I brought everything except for a bike. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go check out the lay of the land. I go in there, there's like, there you go. That's me. Yeah. So they had the elliptical to my left for all the people that are audio only. There's like treadmills, but over on behind me, there was like the old cycling, whatever, like traditional gym cycling. What do you call it? A bike? What is it? Spin bike. Not a spin bike. Not spin bikes. They're because the spin bike has like the wheel, right? Do we consider a spin bike has like the weighted wheel?
Well, typically a spin bike has the giant flywheel.
Yeah, there's no fly. It's not these. Not these.
Similar to a Stage's SB20 with its gigantic flywheel.
Just a plain exercise bike. We could do that.
Yeah. So they had two plain exercise bikes and they had one Peloton. Now, I could raise the seat and I could lower the whatever bar. So they have like all the adjustments. I think it was like welded from sweat or something. I couldn't go forward and aft from my saddle. So I was like leaned back and then it was tilted up and it was like, oh my goodness. So that's what you get in a gym. It's not, it's not like bike fit perfect, but it was like log in. And now I don't know if they have a deal with the hotel I was staying. I think I was staying at a Hilton. That's where this thing was happening. And it was like, oh, just sign up. And it was super fast to sign up. No credit card, no nothing. It was just like sign up, create an account. And I had never created an account before. Created an account. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just want to spin for an hour. And I was kind of searching things around. Now, I had my pedals. They were in my back pocket. I couldn't put them on because the Allen key was smaller than the Allen key for my Speedplay pedals. So I couldn't use my pedals. So I just slipped my shoes because I'm like, I'm not going up to my hotel room to get my regular shoes. I put my cycling shoes with cleats into the slide-ins, and they had SPDs underneath, but I didn't use them. They had
like the clipless.
Yeah, they had the clipless. So I just strapped them in there or whatever.
Or say the toe clips.
The old toe clips. I did that. It took me maybe because I was kind of spinning already, and I signed up with all my other devices, and I had a phone because I did it on my Wahoo system workout on my phone. Nothing connected really. So Bluetooth, like heart rate monitor didn't connect. I don't know where I was going, whatever. But as you can kind of, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. The little, zoom in a little bit for all the people. Your rider list of the people that are in this class. So this is a pre-recorded class. This is not like a live class because I think the next live class was like 3 hours. And I'm like, I'm just going to do a workout. So they have a coach. It's pre-recorded. As you can see the top left for all the people that are viewing this. Over on the right is the people that are in this class that was whatever going live. So
Which is funny because this is interrupt you for a real quick second. There's more people in this pre-recorded or more people attending live a pre-recorded Peloton workout than there is most Zwift races.
Yeah. So Exactly. And that was the thing. It was like, it actually started to become a competition for me. As you can see, there's the rider list over on the right. Now, people had completed. So in this hour, I think it's how many calories you burned. And so I'm way miscalculated. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't think I set my FTP correctly because it didn't prompt me. I think I went back in afterwards and was like, oh, FTP was like 150. And I'm like 225 or no, 325 or something like that. So I immediately at the end of the ride, because it was an hour, I immediately skyrocketed to the top of the rider list for either this day's class of like, hey, people rode earlier and they got 800 kilojoules or whatever it was. But the little knob, so it's not a smart trainer, it was the knob thing, and you could see on the middle, it shows you the watts you're kicking out, but on the right, it's like the cadence of what I was kicking, what I was spinning. And so I got into a groove where I could actually do the knob and do like, okay, I'm gonna get out of the saddle. I'll do like two or three twists of the knob. I can get out of the saddle. Now, it only went to like 100. And that 100, I was so big, I was making that flywheel slip a little bit. Yeah. So like the clamp down, I would slip it on some stuff.
I would have to say, like your sweat welded seat post.
Yeah, right.
I doubt that the belt has had any maintenance recently.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah. But it had good resistance and it had a good feel. And I didn't have Bluetooth headphones. And so I just had the speakers going a little bit. So you could turn, because there was other people in the gym that I didn't want to, like, most people had headphones on, so I probably could have blasted it myself. Because I would go like, hey, do you need to use this? Or like I did my yoga and stuff afterwards and stretching. And everyone's like, huh, what? Because they all have their little Bluetooth headsets in.
Like so you were being more annoying asking them
than if you just did it. Just exactly. That sounds about right for me. So good speakers, the tilt on it, the touch screen, it's really sleek. I had to say that. I was telling Bjorn, I was like, man, this is pretty sleek. I think I was telling you guys too. This is like, if you're just trying to get a workout in and you're like, hey, this is motivational because it's like a cool teacher and she's kind of grooving, and they actually have like licensed music playing and the little leaderboard, and then you can, on the left hand side, you can give each other little high fives or fist bumps or whatever the hell it was. And it was like what a great experience would be for doing like a spin class virtually. I'd never done it before. I don't know if I would want to do it all the time. I would be more interested in, the racing aspect or the competition aspect of it. But I think for all in all, just somebody wanting to do this is a better feature and a better sort of solution than like the. I think second after this would be like the group rides with the video, like Holly does, and like what's his name?
Well, I think. Yeah, my wish is really...
because Cy Bradley, they do like an interactive thing. I mean, they're not... This is the same sort of thing. This has video... See the people in the background, you can kind of see it. There's people in this class in the studios in the New York studios that they record. But if you just have a webcam and you're like interacting, like Holly will encourage you or Cy Bradley will encourage you. And it's like, hey, keep going, push through this turnival. That's kind of cool. You don't really get that anywhere else, right? That I know of.
Oh. I mean, there's a reason 3
it's
million...
just text. It's just text motivation to keep pushing.
There's a reason that Peloton has, 3 million subscribers? Yeah, right. I mean, and a lot of my local bike club used to do, pre-COVID, used to do spin classes during the winter. They were quite popular. And a lot of times when people don't want to think, they just want to show up and be told what to do.
That was
something... to be able to turn your brain off and just pedal. That you have a person there. Same thing with the MyWhoosh, led rides. They tell you what to do. You just do it. I mean, MyWhoosh ones are a little bit different because they're ERG, but in the spin class, it's just like, okay, now we're going to do this, and you just do it, and you just put your head down and you give her. For high intensity. They're good workouts.
Yeah. And they would tell people, she would, they do like the typical, I've done spin classes before when I was younger. The like, all right, 5, 4, 3, and that sort of thing. That I don't particularly like personally, but I understand its effectiveness. But it gets people out of the saddle for a little bit, or it does sort of change things up. And they had different camera angles, so they would have her straight on, and then they have a shot of like people, and then you'd see other people in the background, which motivates you to get, like, all right, we're going to do this we're going to do this for 30 seconds or whatever she was saying. And it was like, you turn the knob. I would love this if this was a smart train, because I think they have a smart one, right? Isn't there? They have a Peloton Plus bike.
It's
they
like
do.
the Peloton Plus. Yep.
Yeah, the one you're using was like the original. But
Yeah.
they do have an actual full-on smart, like power ERG automatic smart bike.
Hey, I've considered it. I'm considering it now. I don't know if I'm going to buy, because I have a bike. I don't want to get a Peloton that I can't do other stuff. I like the options, but like if
Peloton has their game.
Yeah, Peloton is supposedly working on a game, and if Peloton opens it up to other like bikes and smart trainers, I would be interested in, checking it out. Us, we like checking out tons of things out. But I'm not going to knock Peloton anymore. I never was knocking Peloton, but like I said, the only knocking was I don't need somebody to yell at me, and they weren't yelling at me. It was, that sort of sleek, spin class thing where everyone's kind of like, let's go, let's do this thing.
I think
I did it. It was easy. It was easy to go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say we're all long-term cyclists.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like sort of the main user base of Zwift and cycling apps is similar. We usually have a plan, we're following a plan, and we know what we do. Like when we're logging in, I'm logging in with a purpose because I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Where Peloton fills that gap of like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And a lot of people on Zwift, I think if they want to move into that area, they need to do things like this, because a lot of people will log in and be like, well, what is there to do?
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think the Zwift community live, this is the other thing with the Peloton, was I had to create an account because I didn't have one, but it kept prompting me, hey, scan your QR code. So if I had an account on my phone, I could just scan it and it would log me into their thing, right? The the Zwift community live Mallorca event, I think, or somebody was talking to Eric Mann or somebody, remember this conversation? I can't remember what it was. It was like, if they're trying to get into hotels, like they're trying to do live experiences, I think they were trying to get into hotels, they'll need this sort of thing, like you're saying, Lee, is, hey, if I'm a loyal Zwift user, yeah, I'll log in and I'll do the things I want to do. But if you're somebody who's just going into the hotel gym or going into like the local gym, and what am I going to do in Zwift? There's no real sort of like help.
I think not just Zwift, honestly, all the cycling apps fall way short on this sort of polish.
Yeah.
To actually be able to have a user that hasn't sort of done anything before sign up and then do something.
Yeah.
Like you're a cyclist, you just went and signed up, did a Peloton thing. But
Yeah.
I think most people, like if I just had like, say my mom, hey mom, I have a bike sitting on a trainer here. You want to do Zwift? She'd have zero clue on where to start.
I even think Watt game. We'll get into Watt games. We'll go into Watt games. But yeah, like the no clue where you have, hey, this is specifically like fitness. Peloton has it nailed on like quickly on their screen. And I know your friend, Brian, your friend is a Peloton person, all right? And it's like, it was sleek.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Like, yeah, she does. She actually works for, I got a job with a different company than Peloton. I forget what it is now, but the Peloton the versions of Peloton that I've done on the cruises and different hotels and stuff, it's actually been a really good workout. And when you approach it, like, more so toward the cycling zones that we know, like, this level 1, instead of being at like 25 watts, 100 RPMs, I got level 1 at like, my zone 2. If I approach it that way, like, it was challenging and it was good. And it is a great way. And like you said, the polish Peloton is an established user base, established system. Like you hop in, you got these workouts, and then there's that, it's just that group feeling. And I think that's why my Whoosh workouts are very popular as well. I did one the other day with Holly. The other day, that was the first one I've done. I've done several where I've just hopped in and watched them. And it's actually been entertaining just to sit there and watch them.
Yeah, I think
But
Casey's done some and he's enjoyed it as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I haven't done as many as I wanted to do, but I did a few of the Peter Sagan ones. They were
Right.
awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
yeah.
To have him, sit on the screen interacting with the audience is fantastic.
Yeah, there's something to that. Instead of just having the avatar with like the little arrow next to the Matthew Vanderpool or who was, like when I remember did the Philip Gilbert, this is like during the pandemic, it was like, come ride with Lotto Soudal or whatever it was. And it was like, 2,000 people and it just crashed everything. But another cool thing would be Watt games. Let's say come into a hotel and you're like, hey, I'm going to jump on the thing and I don't know what I'm going to do. Watt games would be the hey, I'm going to mess you up. And so your vacation's going to be ruined because I did Watt games, lead it. We touched on Watt games last week and Casey wasn't here and Brian wasn't here, but then Brian tried it this week. So how was it, Brian?
Yeah, I've done 4 stages.
You've done 4?
Well, you got to level
Well,
4? No, wait.
I did the first 2 I just wanted a recovery ride. So I set my FTP at 200.
You mean the
did
dinosaur chasing you is a recovery ride?
Yeah.
That is not a recovery ride.
I set my FTP at 200 watts.
Oh, okay.
So,
You did. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So I did I think it was Tuesday. I did 200 watts FTP stage 1 and 2. And then today, after SRC crashed, my Whoosh, the whole game crashed.
Oh,
that's interesting.
all right. Another topic coming.
Yeah. And then I was like, hell, we'll just do Watt games. So at my FTP of 345, I did it. Now, granted, I'd been an hour and a half into this, and holy shit, like those workouts were tough. Now, granted, I was already tired, but it was actually really fun doing them because you're distracted. You're not staring at the
You're doing
orange
them.
blocks.
You're doing them because you're doing the game, not so much you're
Yeah.
doing the effort. You're doing the effort because the game is asking you to do the thing for the
Right.
game.
I died a total of probably 14 times
Yeah, that.
because
Well, and then you get more tired.
yeah.
Yeah. Then you get more tired, and it's asking you to do more and more and more.
Yeah, so Watt Games itself, right now they've got I think the early access is 4 levels. I've just done the first 2, and I don't want to go to the 3rd level until I get 100% completion, no deaths. That's kind of my goal right now. So that gamification is really cool because like, you could just hey, I made it through it, go to the next one. Well, I want to get 100% no death, all kills of the little bosses.
You want to speed run
know?
it?
Yeah, so like I think Tuesday I need a recovery day.
You need a
tomorrow, but
recovery,
Tuesday,
yeah.
I think, yeah, because
Well, and that's the whole point of getting 5 stars as well for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and for me now, Kellison might be it. There may be some others, but okay. Power wise, right now with my setup, I got a 46 front ring. So there's this one mission where you got to defeat these clams. I have to hold 400 watts under
Wait,
75 RPM.
Clams? Which one's
The
this?
crabs.
Yes.
You mean crabs?
No, the actual clams. The clams where you got to do the watts under
this-
the low
Yes.
wattage.
Oh, I haven't
low
got to that
RPM?
point. I know crabs, but I
Okay.
don't know the clam
Yeah, that's
stage.
the end of stage 2 or mission 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then I don't know that.
I can't do less than 75 and over 400 watts. Like my gearing doesn't allow for it. So I had to use the Wahoo app. And I saw in their Discord that I'd already sent them like just say 6 things that I recommended. And someone else said they were using the Wahoo app to bypass the power aspect as well. So that's something that they're going to bring to the game. I'm going to guess soon because they recognize that that's an issue. Like,
Because you're gearing.
for the different challenges. Yeah, for my
'cause you're
gearing. And so I just set the Wahoo app at 3% gradient in simulation mode, and it works fine then. But yeah, it's super fun, it's super challenging, and there's little secrets to like a couple of the little crabs or dinosaurs you come to. You don't have to do the entire.
I learned that. Lee didn't figure that out.
And that's,
Lee was like,
that's what's interesting. And that's the gamification side of things is like, you don't
Strategy.
really know. And then the community comes and says, hey, between each crab, you can actually like soft pedal.
recover.
And you're like, really? Because the problem is you're worried about failing, so you don't want to fail. And it's funny. I even know the stupid eagle that I went back and did the first mission again, and I still died on the flipping eagle.
I think the reason why it sets it up that way is just because if you let off at all with the is it a Velociraptor or Tyrannosaurus Rex, whatever, the dinosaur that's chasing you, you can't really recover. You kind of just have to hold that wattage because you will fall back and then get chomped.
Yeah.
Where the crabs, you're riding to then attack them, and so you can relax a little bit and then do it. So that's like
There's that visual.
Yeah, no, but also it's teaching you the game mechanic, and you're trying to you're like, well, I have to stay ahead of the dinosaur because I'm being chased, and then you just kind of hold on to that game mechanic instead of being able to change on the fly and go, you know what, I'm riding to them, I can go easy, and then right there I ramp up. That's at least how I figured it out. But they did do updates. Here, there's an update. He has it on screen. I'll read it off, a couple of them. The initial power, so smart trainers and speed sensors, is that what that is? Cycling power service? Or is that a power meter?
It's like a tax protocol.
Oh, the tax. Okay, yeah. So you can go windowed, which is great because then you're not full screen. And they've increased the resolution to QHD, so which is a 1440p. So this is we brought this
FPS destruction.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. We, with the three of us, or I don't know about the three of us, but I know Lee and I talk about like high-end gaming rigs to take advantage of these games that we love. This might slowly drop the people that might enjoy this with like the low-end gaming rigs. Are you guys cool with this? Or do you think
totally
they should?
Fine with that.
Okay. I'm totally fine with it too. Like, it's a game.
I want to play everything at 4K Ultra.
Yeah.
And if I can't play something at 4K Ultra because my system isn't great, I'm not going to complain. Like, that's just the game. Games are like that.
Yeah.
I want the best graphics that I can deal with.
I think What Games is the game where it's going to do it. It's going to be like, you know what? Because I like seeing the details in the environment is great. Like the forest, all the environment, the terrain, but then also in the water world area. When I was watching Casey do the cannonball thing, it's cool to see that at high quality and high frame rates. So yeah, good for them. Connectivity. So I had issues with connectivity issues, and they've solved the smart trainer scanning, and then it'll instantly collect stuff, and then what is it? Bike connection manager rebuild. So re-entering the main menu no longer loses the trainer handle. I guess it would like disconnect you, and so you'd have to reconnect everything.
Each time.
Yeah.
So something that they need to add also is in-game, and this is
reconnection. Yeah.
Reconnection in-game, and I wanted to change. I had something connected, and I want to change it, and you can't. I had to restart the whole game. Like once it gets that connection,
Yeah.
It's full locked in.
It's the old Zwift. You have to quit the route. You have to quit the game to relaunch to go to a different route. Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing. This is early access.
Yeah.
Early access, everybody. It's not a finished, polished game.
And they've been extremely responsive with, trying to sort things out or addressing the issues and
There's like
looking at
Indie Velo, Bike Terra, and Watt Games.
Yeah.
The three developers that are listening.
Yeah.
Or I mean, seem
Listen to
be
us.
listening.
Excuse me. Listen to us.
Listening to us. Totally.
Some other games listen to other people.
I want to say, Watt Games kind of basically kicked old Indie Velo / Training Peaks Virtual in the old groin, coming out with these graphics. Like, don't know how much money it costs, don't know what went into it. Obviously, Indie Velo, Training Peaks Virtual, has a phenomenal game underneath the hood. It just looks crap. So when Unity, which is Training Peaks Virtual is based on Unity. This comes out with graphics like this. It really makes you scratch your head. Is like, if Training Peaks Virtual looked like Watt Games, just the scenery in the world, I think it would be much, much more approachable to the world of indoor cyclists.
Totally.
I really think so.
Yeah, I think training, like, I mean,
Why do you think that? Both you guys, if you're saying why.
I think Training Peaks Virtual is underestimating the graphics and how it attracts people.
Yeah,
Totally
I agree
does.
as well.
Totally. Like, completely. I mean, most video games, people who do play video games, that's one of the first things that they look at.
Yeah, but a lot of cyclists are not video gamers.
No, definitely not.
That's the thing where it's like, I understand your guys' like take, but I don't know if the, hey, I just use Apple TV to do my workout and I'm done, or to do my group ride with my buddies on Tuesdays, because that's Zwift Racing League. I get it from what we really want, but then the reality of it is people are not really, if it looks like, it could look like, it could be like a 1-to-1 of reality, but if it doesn't have the social aspect of Zwift, because that's already established, I don't know if people are going to be jumping ship as much as we would think, right?
The social thing comes up all the time, and I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't get it anymore.
Well, you don't get it because you said this on your stream today. You're like, I
Actually,
don't care about the
that's
social stuff.
exactly
You're
it.
like, I like
I
riding by
totally
myself, and I don't need to talk to somebody.
I had a guy come in.
There's
and was
something.
Like,
yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
he's like, I tried Zwift for a week, and I hated it.
Right, I know.
Because that's the thing is, like, that's why I ride. It's 100% why I ride Ruby. Is I don't care about that. There's people chatting. I used to care. I used to like racing in Zwift. I used to care that people were chatting. I used to care that there was other people where I could be like, oh, look at that dude. He just passed me. He's a real person.
I don't think it's so much people chatting or like, oh, it needs to be like a, big group ride. I think it's more of when you ride around in real life, you don't want to stop and like chat to another cyclist. You just want to do this and keep moving. But that's Zwift right now, is there's actually somebody you can, hey, I did this for the audio only audience, or the visual only audience, is the little wave. I'm not going to stop and say what's up, or, hey, how you doing? Or passing on your left. That's about all the interaction that most of us want. But the idea that there's other cyclists out there to just wave at is the reason why Zwift is still popular.
I was just going to say that, and then Barney just wrote it in chat. I totally am turning into the grumpy old bike packer.
Yeah,
I want to go on a gravel road. Like the ride I was doing in Ruby was this amazing mountain pass that went from pavement to gravel. And I was actually, during the route, the person filming the route passed other bike packers. And I was like, this is in the middle of nowhere. I would love this right now. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah. But most people don't, like, when I'm on Zwift, I don't want to talk. You see me turn off the chat all the time because I don't want to hear other people talking. But having hey, I might join this group ride and there's going to be people there, instead of showing up to the group ride in my area and there's like 5 people. You're like, oh, I wish there was like 20, 30 people, and I don't need to talk to any of them. Eventually I will talk to them, But that's the reason why I think graphics are a key thing to it, but I think we've talked about this before. Underneath the hood is what will drive people, but the people stay because of the graphics. Yeah. And then hopefully that brings the social of like hey, this is really good graphics and it's really good underneath the hood. The foundation is built there. This is the kind of world that I want to live in.
Well, and I think Training Peaks Virtual is still leading the way on sensors and all of that stuff under the hood. It's just they're lagging behind, and they're almost falling into the Zwift realm, because most of our complaints with Zwift is there hasn't been enough movement in the last 10 years. If you look at the entire body of Zwift's work, you're kind of like, well, for me, who's been in Zwift since 2015, 2016, you go, man, I wish they had more content. And Training Peaks Virtual is kind of getting to that point. Like, yes, they add sensors and they're
Yeah.
making updates. Like, I still get the emails and the update list is ridiculously long, but it's like until it says we revamped all graphics, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah.
their burden right now, is the graphics, because a lot of us that used Granny Peaks, I haven't used it in a while, is
Yeah, me either.
it's really rock solid. Just I don't like the way it looks, so I've lost interest.
And that's why I think for someone who rides a lot, having something decent to look at is a big part of it. So that's why I want it, because I spend a decent amount of time and I want it to look decent. Zwift looks decent.
It does
Rouge looks
eventually.
decent,
It's not
Rock
the
Games.
first thing. It's not the first thing but it's the lasting thing.
Ruby,
Yeah.
100%. It's
Yeah.
real live videos, and I just get lost in looking at mountain passes.
Your climb today was pretty cool. I mean, there
It
was
was
a lot.
beautiful.
There was too many motorcycles coming down, but
Well,
the,
I actually made me want to Google what this mountain pass, because there was a lot of motorcycles.
it's like the gravel
fully
section
equipped.
of the Col de Fenestre, right? Is that what it was? Col de Fenestre? Finestre? Is that how you say it? It's
Something
the
like
one
that.
from the Tour, the Giro, right? That
Yeah, the gravel
Is that
section
gravel?
looked
Simon,
awesome.
yeah, Simon Yates. It was a Simon Yates,
Yeah,
right?
it's a 1698 meters, and at about the 60% mark, it turns to gravel.
Yeah, there was
And
tons
it was
of
beautiful.
motorcycles. Yeah.
Lots of motorcycles. But it was interesting because that's why I like Ruby, because I ride that and go, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Where is this? And then I usually go and Google it after the fact and then read all about that and go, add that to the list of places I want to ride
And
my
there was
bike.
people on there. That's the thing, is like we talk about, oh, there's nobody on. There's people
There was
on
shit-
Ruby.
There was a ton of people
There's
on
a
that
ton of
route,
people on
and that
Ruby.
route was horrible.
Yeah.
It was long, and there was a ton of climbing, and there was a huge amount of people on Ruby riding that particular route, which
Yeah.
is weird because why was there so many people on that route?
Yep.
Which we keep underestimating Ruby and the amount of people that use it, because clearly every time I do a route, there's like 30, 40 other people on that route.
There's the incentives. I got an email from them or something pinged me about, oh yeah, you can get 25% off your annual thing if you do like a prescription or an achievement, and getting the achievements. Like you did the three things and parlayed a bunch of experience points.
Triple dipped.
Yeah, you
today.
didn't triple dip in a game. You triple dipped in the challenges. Yeah, and which they allow you to do.
Yeah, I
which is very
finished
cool.
a challenge last week, and I got an email from Ruby saying I get 20% off on everything in the store, the
There you
online
go.
store.
That's very cool.
They
All
have
right.
trainers.
Yeah, they like Techno Gym stuff. They have like Techno
They
Gym.
have like Wahoo, like they have
The
a
Wahoo.
full-on list of like
Oh, very
actual
cool.
name brand trainers.
20%
I'm
off is
like-
pretty good. Very cool.
Yeah, that's
All
awesome.
right. So speaking of people, the Biketerra OTR Friday ride.
I missed it.
It's a
but
group
I'm not
ride. I missed
sad
it.
That I missed it.
Yeah, I was tired. I coming back from travel, and I was like, I'm gonna rest before my race.
That route
outside.
looked horrible.
Yeah, and it was like a huge now it's a real climb in where I grew up in San Diego. It's Mount Palomar, but it's the terrain of it and the people doing it. And Casey was riding it, and he likes to blow up the Peloton every time, and then people got to stay with him. But that's starting to pick up. So if people want to check it out, it's a group ride. You'll ride with whoever is in your fitness world, right?
Yeah.
It's not really a race, technically a race, but I think we can do races in Biketerra now. And
Well, the Friday 11 a.m. OTR age group race.
oh, that's the race. Is that different than
that
the
is
group
actually a
race?
full-on
Oh, it is a
race.
race.
And they're getting
Okay.
almost
Don't
over
They're
20
calling it a
people.
ride. Why are they calling it a ride? It is a race.
Yeah, it's an age group
Oh, okay.
categoried race. They do
Race
call it a
together,
ride.
scored separately. There you go.
Yes.
I found out the OTR Hill ride is a group ride, not a race. I approached it as a race, so I was that guy there when I did it.
Oh,
last
so
week
you're the
or
one who
week before,
ruined it.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the one who confused me.
The Bike Terror racing is really fun. Like it's different dynamics, like that I'm used to. Like I've only done one race and one ride, like with people outside of me just roaming around my hometown here, but it's different.
Yeah, I think, well, you and
it's-
Casey are the ones that know the best of like the physics of all of them, because you do
Yeah.
my whoosh. Casey does, he's been doing Zwift for all the time, but I think Lee and I are the only, Casey does Ruby as well, but you do the my whoosh racing. And so you're like in my whoosh as well. So what is it? Is it better in your opinion? Is it better for you, or is it just different in like, oh, I just something different to do?
I almost want to say Bike Terror is more realistic, because I was buried off the front. All right, I don't even know the watts, say 320 to 340 to 350, in that range. Like I am at my FTP area. And I don't remember the exact speeds I was riding, but it wasn't what I can do out my trail. Like I have, starting right over the hill here, 18 miles north is a paved trail. The other day I was doing a King of the Mountain. I was trying to take one of my King of the Mountains back. So I'm averaging 350 watts, and I'm going right around 24 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. Just kind of depends on how the air was hitting me. And that's about what I was doing in Bike Terra. The group behind me, they weren't like pack almighty, like, 2.5 watts and catch me. They were doing a little bit of work and they caught me. I think that is realistic. I don't ride, and this is something where you guys, like I don't ride outside enough to truly know what it's like. But the little bit of riding that I've done over the past week outside, I've done 6 rides outside in the past, since last May 29th. And riding with people, I think Bike Terra is much more realistic than Zwift and my whoosh. I think my whoosh made an update to be more like Zwift, to make people happy. Just some of the conversations that Matt Smithson and just different people within the my whoosh world, they made it seem like they were happy with how small the draft was and how different it was. And then they make this update where it's bigger and easier. But I think they were trying to like attract the Zwift crowd. But Bike Terra is like, hey, this is our thing. And ultimately, I got caught at the end of this race, and like I was exhausted. But man, they caught me. It was a good little sprint. Felty won. I don't know how to say his actual name. Haki or something. But
Mark Tape. Aku.
Yeah. Aku. So yeah, that was a great race. A lot of fun. But I think it's realistic. It's
totally realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that takes people away from the realism is the avatars look so blocky. But I think if it was more of like a realistic look.
Have you seen the latest water?
Yeah.
The water.
Yeah, the terrain is awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it looks old school, but good all at the same time. Like, it's good enough. But like I said, I've ridden enough outdoor races. I'm a bigger dude. I don't do well on hills. I get dropped on hills right away. But if it's a flat race, I can hang on way longer than I should hang on. And anyone who's ever done a fondo with like hundreds of other people, you get pulled for the first 30K.
Yeah.
When you're in the draft, like, it's actually funny when you actually look at the draft. Tour de France. Do you know what the guys in the middle, they're humming along doing 40 plus kilometers an hour. The guys in the middle of the peloton are doing like 190 watts.
Yeah.
The draft in real life, when you have a bunch of people, is super
when you're bunched
strong.
up, but when you're strung out, it's tough. Because I did a race
and Bike
yesterday.
Terra totally like that. If you are
when
in
it
the
strings
group,
out, everyone's going hard. When everyone's going hard, everyone's going hard.
And every time, so I've been able to hold on to the group, and every time I've fallen off the group has been an exact situation where I would have fallen off real life, where I'm hanging on the pack decides to pick up the pace, I get about of a 15-foot gap, and then can't catch back up, and the gap starts to get wider, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I can't hold anymore. And that's exactly what happens on every outdoor race I've ever been on where I've been dropped. The gap starts to form, or you get caught off guard because the group attacks. And
That's
then
how
you
I
get
got
caught
dropped.
off guard. Yeah.
I went to the front and pulled in the wind to kind of bridge to this group that was pulling away that had a bunch of teams. And then I went to the back and they surged and I couldn't grab on and poof, I was gone. And I did the rest of it by myself.
Yeah. That partly you were outside. What is your, like, this was my first week of riding anything outside since October 2023. And as much as I love running outside, I don't miss it. Does that make sense? Because
I
like,
fucking hate the wind.
well, yeah.
The wind in real life is
There
son of
are
a bitch.
Yeah.
for me, there's positives and negatives for each. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like riding outside that's the free flowing and you can move around and you can do things. The crashing, the wind, the fatigue that the body takes from hitting all the bumps and all the other things. But when you're grooving and going fast and you can get in the drops and lean into a corner and pedal through a corner, sit on someone's wheel or pull somebody back or attack, you can't get that in indoors. You just can't, unless we can figure out how to do it. But it just doesn't have that sort of feel.
So I'll
Now
give
your
you my
bit
little
rate's good on your
synopsis.
camera.
I was just gonna say that. I was just typing
Welcome
that in chat. I was
to
like,
the bit rate.
all of a sudden
Hey.
something just
Yeah.
happened and it was like bam.
Yeah, you were streaming on a
camera looks
Razor
freaking
phone from like
fantastic.
2002, man. All right, go, Brian. Sorry.
Well, so I drive 4 hours. I park my car, get my bike out. I got everything packed. I'm all good. I got my kit that I'm going to wear. Go up to the little restroom at the historic place, change. Get my car, no helmet. So like, whatever. I'll just ride. It was 30 miles to the closest bike shop. Ride down. 2 miles away from my car, started raining. It was raining so hard, I'm spitting water out like I'm taking a drink and spitting it. 90 minutes of this, okay?
To go buy a helmet.
To go buy a helmet. Buy my helmet, ride back to the car. So on Saturday, we had 15 mile an hour sustained winds with 45 mile an hour gusts. Miserable. And then Sunday started out 35 degrees. It was a great day at the end of the day, but the
35 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yes. So it'd be like 2 Celsius. And then Monday, I was like, I don't feel like dressing, because it was supposed to be from 9 a.m., 35 degrees, at 11 a.m., 65. I'm like, and we had to check out by 11. So I was like, I said, I'm just going to go home and ride. I'm riding. I'm 16, 18 miles into my ride. Boom, flat. God damn, man. It's like, it was just every reason that like I don't miss outdoors happened in 4 days. It was just like, yeah. But the mechanical aspect, I'm in my basement, you know, there's no air. My entire upper body was sore for like 3 days after fighting that air that bad. Because I got 50 millimeter carbon, you know, tubulars. So like the air was pushing me every single direction. One time it pushed me this way, and then immediately once it stopped, it pushed me back off to the side of the road. So it was exciting. But I don't miss it. Like, I do want to go get some King of the Mountains, but I am not, and that's the other thing, I'm not going to do it when traffic is out and about. Like, I'll do it at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, playing in traffic is just, in my area here. Now, where I was in the Snowshoe, Cass, Greenbank area, West Virginia, over along the Virginia border, I had 2 vehicles out of like 300 miles even come close to what you would call a close call. Everyone gave us like literally a whole entire lane when they passed us. It was awesome. Now in my local area here, not even, people will buzz by you and basically you can touch you as you go by. So that's just my local area. But it's just kind of like, man, as much as I love it.
Yeah, but I get you. Nothing, no indoor thing will ever replace outside for me. But I like both. It's not that they're two different things. They're two different things to me. So I understand all the safety, the convenience, hey, I don't get a flat, but I sacrifice all those just for the freedom of riding outside. I really enjoy riding outside still.
Yeah, and it's ironic, like, I am the Zwifter. I don't ride outside. I was the best descender and set several fastest times descending this weekend. Like, it's insane It could be just because I'm an idiot and don't know any better, and I'm just bombing down these mountains. But I couldn't believe it. I looked back every single descent, and there was no one behind me. I'm like, wow, they either don't want to be around me, or
Maybe you're too sketchy.
I'm just dumb.
Maybe you're trying to pronounce their
know.
names, and they're like, this guy doesn't know how to pronounce our names, so
There's no
Yeah,
drafting,
yeah,
or there's no breaking in Zwift.
yeah. Yeah, no breaks.
You're just so used to taking hairpins at 80K an hour. You're like, well, that must be how it does.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, but for me, and I think like with Watt games, if they can expand it to include,
I think of
instead
all the
just doing
games,
intervals every day.
I think of all the games, Watt Games is going to have the most expansion because it's a game. They're going to be
Yeah.
able to expand. Now, I think I thought of this when we were just starting to talk about Watt Games is I think in their quest mode or story mode, they need to have like the option to like, hey, we're going to set up camp and recover.
Yeah.
Because I'm gassed to go on to do the new event. Like, hey, we just fought a dinosaur or whatever, or a griffin. Like we just and like, yo, we need to replenish the supplies. Like, go to town. Like, noodle to the town to recover to do this next interval. Because I was so smashed when I did it. Oh my goodness, they need to put that in there.
It excites me because there's so much they can do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what direction they're gonna go. But there's so many things, like we were talking about, like some of them are too hard. Well, what if you could do a quest that you got armor that was like plus or minus 5 FTP, where it made your FTP lower, so you could actually put your FTP at 100%, but you had like, there's so many things that they could do.
Yeah.
To hit armor class 0. Thaco. Anyone know Thaco from Dungeons and Dragons?
Excuse me.
That's too
One
math.
of my
too much math.
suggestions
Too much.
was like, so we go through the battle just like you're saying, but I can't do the next stage, the next interval, the next mission until I ride for 60 to 90 minutes to go deliver or to go pick up iron ore from the neighboring village to bring it back to my blacksmith to redo my armor. You know what I mean?
Like a
So that
zone 2
builds in
like
your
workout.
zone
Oh, yeah,
skills.
yeah. See, that's you put that in the Discord, man. You start giving them some ideas.
I sent it to him. I sent a
All right, cool.
direct
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah.
But if you could do things like that, or just now this may be down the road, but like let's say you start getting a little overtrained per se. You know what I mean? Like it won't let you go until you have a couple of recovery days. I mean, of course you can ride anywhere, but just something about that aspect.
Or it starts to learn you. You mean like it's like, hey,
Yeah.
I know
Hail,
that you.
adventurer.
Yeah, hell,
We have
adventurer.
noticed you have been doing
Yeah.
too many intervals. Maybe today take a relaxing day.
Yeah.
The blacksmith needs some more coal. Maybe you could go get him some more coal while
you
you
go, yeah.
rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that aspect would be really fun, and you can make it like a free roam world. Like maybe you make up towns. Let's say we're in, I don't know, first place I thought it was Italy. You got to ride from Rome to Verona or Milan or wherever to go get these different stuff.
Westeros.
supplies.
You got to ride to Westeros.
Yeah, just something.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. And that would bring people in just besides, because my fear is if they keep it how it is now, you're going to do intervals every day. Oh, this sucks. And then it's not going to grow. But if you add that free
You can't
world
do
aspect.
intervals every day.
Yeah. Whew.
Hopefully they get that.
Yeah.
Hey, we got like 10 minutes left. I want to know about Ascended Race Club crashing. What's
Okay.
going on?
So I'm doing Sunday Race Club. I got dropped. Like I got to work on my VO2 repeatability. That's where I'm lacking. Of course, the past 2 months, I've been doing long, steady efforts. So I need to change the stimulus for me. We come into the second sprint, like I'm dropped after the first sprint because it's a climb, sprint, drop off, climb again. Well, I just couldn't do that to keep with the group. So there's a group of like 5 of us, we're chilling, and we come around this loop again to hit that same exact sprint section. Just as we start ramping up, boom, my whoosh crash. Now, during this, leading up to this, I saw probably 5 people just disappear from the map or stop riding, and then I don't know what happened to them. After, it was like 5 hours later, I actually opened up my whoosh chats, and there was like messages on 3 or 4 different places about my whoosh crashing. So several people's, for whatever reason, had an issue today. And as far as I know, there was no update. It was just a random issue within the world. And they are giving anyone that had crashes today the credit for the qualifier. So, you know, like for
Well,
me,
so
I
do you fill out a form for crashing, or do they know because of your log file?
I think because of the log file, I sent the email to race control and said, hey, you know, I have my Twitch video, so I
Okay.
just time stamped it.
Oh, right,
and
right,
then,
right.
like
okay.
I'm riding, and then boom. Just within my team, there was 4 other people that crashed between Cat 5 and Cat 4 I saw. And then there was a couple of people in another group
So
chat.
you sent an official race control email like,
Yes,
hey, I had a
did,
crash, and that's probably what they recommend, right? Otherwise, they're not going to track down the people that don't care.
That's
or-
probably accurate. Like,
You would have to say, like from an example for like another game that I like, the Magic the Gathering arena game or online.
yeah.
If you were in a match and it crashed or something happened to your client that was not your fault and it was the client's fault, you then have to inform them for a reimbursement of the entry fee to the event
Yeah.
or whatever. So that's what their race control is asking to do.
Yeah, and they may, now that say 15, 20 people or whatever the number is have said, hey, I crashed during this, they may go back and kind of
Blanket everybody, just blanket everybody as a qualifier. If you were entered in the race, kind of what they did with the previous like money one, where it's like, hey, if you entered into the last time, we're going to make sure that you're good to go for the double money. But if you entered now and you weren't in that last one, you don't get the double money.
Hasn't this happened before?
This seems like it happens a lot to you.
Well,
like
I feel
you
like, well, not just Brian, but I feel like the mass game crash has happened on a previous SRC.
I started in July doing SRC. July, it was almost basically a year. I remember 3, maybe 4 times where there's been a complete issue. One weekend it was the men's could not get in the race like at all. Like there was all kind of server issues, game wide, not just with SRC. It was the entire game server was shit. There was another time to where almost the same exact thing happened, and they actually restarted the race about 40 minutes later. But I had given up and I wasn't paying attention. I was doing my own thing. I could have still joined, but I'd given up because at that point, you know, I was already tired from riding it for almost an hour and 10 minutes.
Do they have race control in each race communicating to the people, or is this like after the fact? Like, do they have a commissary that's there? You know, like like ZMS has his like camera people, and like
I will say this, I know that there's my Whoosh employees in Sunday Race Club racing.
But there's no officials, or is there?
There's no official like.
It's watching it live, like, hey, we know what's going on, like you crashed, or like, hey, stay connected.
To my knowledge, there's no like overarching in-game communication
during the race, during the event. It's just the broadcast. They're just broadcasting it.
Yeah, and then, man,
That'd be curious. That'd be curious to ask.
There's not. Yeah, but yeah, Sunday Race Club, and this is a side note. Like, to my knowledge, I know some of the. Oh, by the way, congratulations.
Secondary side note. Was that a side note on a side note?
Oh yeah, we got 2 side notes here.
Okay. Congratulations.
Dominique Charlebois has won her SRC today. She did an awesome job. She won. Holly got the KOM and I'm going to say 7th. I can't remember. So they did excellent. Randy was racing. I have no idea where she finished. I didn't see her streaming this morning. And then Holly didn't answer me when I asked her, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm not sure on that. But yes. Yes. Dominique,
congratulations on getting your name pronounced close enough.
Super.
Yeah,
good.
that was congratulations. That's congratulations on Dominique having her name pronounced. Not you pronouncing it.
Brian's wife's got like cue cards, and they practice this while they're on vacation. People's names.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What was the other, before the side note of the congratulations side note, what was the other side note?
Oh, I got sidetracked here. My wife is
Okay.
texted me here. Hold on.
We're close.
Sorry.
We're almost wrapping.
Yes. What was the other side note?
The
Shit.
side note was so there was nobody in the race, but I'm asking you, you were saying like from what I know, and then you said, oh yeah, this, and then you just side noted a side note. You remember?
Well, this is an interesting development. Like I know the prize money aspect is delayed. Like it's about 3 months for me. But from everyone that I've talked to, men's and women's side, we, as prize money winners, have not get paid this year. I wasn't too worried about it because January and February, I didn't win anything. Well, March, in April, and May, I've amassed some winnings. But apparently, I don't know what's happening, but there's been a massive delay in the pay. So that's a negative side, especially if someone is like expecting some money out of this. Like some people that are in the higher categories, I've heard, have quit their main job and they're relying on this income to survive. So that's kind of a touchy subject, 'cause
sticking
you don't-
point. A sticking point. I got
Yes.
that. So my
Yeah.
question now is, we live in a digital world. Digital transactions happen really quickly. What is the stance, do you know, by MyWhoosh on this sort of like 3-month delay? Do you have any idea? Have you reached out to them? Does anyone else know? Could you reach out for next show? Maybe find out.
I'll send out an email just out of pure curiosity, because the other side to it is I don't know if we know the dates, but the MyWhoosh Championship with $1 million week-long stage race is coming. So it's just kind of a weird feeling running into this. And I want to say they said August, but I could be totally wrong. I could be making that up. I don't remember. Because
that usually ends participation on most things, especially outdoors. I've heard this. You know, it's rampant sometimes in outdoor racing where it's like, hey, we're doing this a big event. There's tons of prize money, and then the participants don't actually ever see the prize money. Yeah,
so I've got paid for majority of my earnings.
Yeah, you have. It's just delayed. That's my question is, I mean, we live, if it's a sort of like international, it's like an international prize money, then I can understand the delay.
Yeah.
But
so, and I did ask someone who, I guess I want to say has a contract with MyWhoosh, and that person did confirm that because she's contracted, she's essentially an employee, that it's boom, 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 boom. I can't remember if it was, that person said weekly or bi-weekly, but like because their setup is different for that.
Yeah. Not technically an employee, but like a vendor or something. Yeah. Like doing work. So there should be like usually it's like 60 days. Most people like net 60, net 30. Yeah. I know Lee probably knows. He does a bunch of this for his thing. Like what's terms of like hiring somebody. Let's say this is prize money, so it's different. But like usually it's like, hey, we services net 60,
usually
net
between
90.
Suppliers and contractors.
Yeah, net 60, net 90.
Like a 60, 90.
But like you're 120 right now.
So that's
net 90, 3 minutes. Yeah, 90, net 90, something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, starting to get pretty expensive.
That's a little bit of negative with MyWhoosh right now. And the other thing that's kind of interesting is, remember how MyWhoosh was banging out worlds every 3 months and seasons?
Oh, this is your sticking point.
Yeah, well, it's been a little dry with not even any rumors about that now, which I can understand. You know, they do have a lot of things going on, but my one thing I would like is the expansion of existing worlds within that, because I'm kind of getting tired routing around the same little California or Japan. Like if we could expand.
Brian's getting tired.
You want the 5 kilometer, 200K new routes.
Yeah. If we could expand a little bit instead of just adding new worlds, that's my preference. But hey, we'll see.
All right. There you go. Digital. What is it? Prize money, digital transactions, and you want new worlds. There you go.
Yeah. So, but
That's
yeah,
our that's our my
overall,
whoosh update.
Whoosh,
Yeah, no.
I'll
yeah,
probably
my whoosh is
I like
expect to
watching the
see-
my whoosh. I like watching the women race in the my. I watch the men.
Yeah.
Well, there's not as many men racing in the my whoosh because it's that I can watch live because the women go off before the men, and
Yeah.
I'm awake sometimes. I can't stay up and watch, but I really enjoy their broadcast. I think their broadcast is really good, and I like the new avatar. Not the new avatar. I like the new HUD. I think it looks clean. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, obviously the side by side is still.
Well, I wonder
sort
if
of
the
not
new
fun to
world
watch,
thing
but-
was put on hold when they were updating to Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, maybe
they're
so,
like,
yeah, yeah.
resources
hey, we
been
need-
allocated to that.
And
Yeah.
what about the? You're the my whoosh guy now. Can you find out an update on the seasonal? What's the season thing? The season achievement thing? What's
The
that
season
called?
pass.
Season pass.
That has been going hand in hand with the new worlds. When they
Right.
introduced it, we got a new world season pass, new world season pass. So yeah, we'll
That was pretty
I'll send an
cool
email,
when they
see
did
what-
that. So I was
see
just
what
curious if season pass is still
yeah. And the last season
thing.
pass, I rode very similarly on my whoosh, and it was a lot harder to complete. So they did make it more.
they increased
challenging.
it so it didn't immediately like a lot
Yeah,
of people.
it wasn't as simple because I did it in 6 days. The first one, the second one was about 2 months. Like it took me a bit.
Oh wow, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was. You had to work for it. And
Okay.
There may have been some days I was doing other stuff, not double dipping or whatever the situation was, but I still put some work in.
Right on. All right. We've exceeded our time together, gentlemen. Well, not. We usually go over all the time, but anything else? Any lingering thing? We're good.
As the
think my
title
streak-
says, it's June and I'm still riding indoor. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm still riding indoor, but I didn't
Yeah.
do the. Well, I rode Peloton this week, so it wasn't my indoors. It was the hotel's indoors.
You lost your streak. You better get on
I know.
tonight.
Maybe I
You
get
better
on
get that streak, baby.
get my Zwift streak back.
I think that's the thing is once you lose the streak, then it's like,
Oh, I lost
Yeah.
the streak a long time ago. I think
Well, don't know.
I've been on like
Can't
the
you
one.
carry it over now? Don't you have like
I had like 25 weeks, and then I went to 0.
you can
and then,
buy streaks with drops now or something like that?
Can you?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
say
there's
you can
some way you can
freeze.
extend your streak, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
It's like
You can make up
Duolingo.
lost
It's like Duolingo.
streak weeks by
We've-
spending drops.
Yeah. Alrighty, that was a fun one. I'm looking at my Swift companion app if I'm going to ride it. Let's look. What's available?
Do it.
Events.
Do it. I go ride
6:10,
in
so I have 5 minutes. Not going to make that one. 45 people.
Oh.
7:10, 18 people. And I'm in the what's my race score? Here we go. We're boring people. Play the music. We're gonna get out of here. Race score 459.
Oh,
know what
you're
that
so
means.
underscored.
459, you
What does that mean? I
sandbagger.
don't even know what that
Holy
means.
smokes.
That's very low
Is it low?
Jeez,
for your
that's
ability.
like CCAT. Like, yeah.
That's me.
For your
I'm
ability,
in
you would
C
destroy
cat.
them.
I'm in C. Look,
Oh, wow. I'm
Oh, you should-
793.
I am C. I'm a
Go
C
race then.
category.
Go do some racing.
Dude, I'm C category. That is awesome. I feel so accomplished.
You
Level
chief
91,
sandbagger.
category C. All right. On that note, thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Go hug and kiss your dog. And your
Yeah.
children if you have them. I do not. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you guys.